City councils are leaders in their community. We're very much about advocating for the support of our partners and our community.
The issue of food security is not something we can look at in isolation. Gambling, alcohol-related death and disability, those things, in addition to food security, makes it almost imperative for council to begin to advocate on behalf of its most disadvantaged communities. We have an advocacy unit, which I'm responsible for, that generates the campaigns and the advocacy effort, not just around food security, but also around poverty, around generational disadvantage, with food security being one component of that we need to fight on a number of different levels.
In local government, you end up doing all sorts of advocacy that perhaps 5 years ago we wouldn't have thought would have a great impact on people getting access to healthy food. We had a local caravan park where, because there were some roadworks going on, the bus stop right out the front of it was closed, and it had been closed for about 6 months. We had a conversation with the bus provider and talked to them about how that meant that there were now a lot of problems for the people living in the caravan park. And of course they were totally amenable to then coming up with a temporary bus stop and restoring that, which was of great value to the people living in the caravan park. It meant that they didn't have to walk 300 metres with heavy shopping bags. So sometimes the solutions are really simple.
Advocacy doesn't have to be sitting down and lecturing somebody. One of the things we did really early on in the Food for All program was to be very keen to integrate what we do across council. We invited the whole organisation to a morning tea, and we developed this board game, and the questions that got you to move forward or backward were targeted to officers across the agencies, and so it became very relevant to each officer. You could see them thinking, I do have a place in this. We've worked really hard to be able to put the Food for All principles and language into everyday terms so that we can actually take the story of Food for All to a range of media outlets. So it serves two purposes. You know, we promote ourselves and the work we do with connecting community, but also promotes food security. And our communications team has worked really well with our Food for All program, because early on we went to them and explained what we were trying to do and why. And our communications team are actually great advocates for the Food for All program because we took that time early on. And again, it comes back to that early advocacy on an internal level to bring others on board by sitting down together and building relationship based on common outcomes. The key to success is taking the time to build really strong, respectful relationships and then finding some common ground and some common language. So that advocacy work, that relationship work, we believe is the key to success in this sort of program.